Hello everybody and welcome back to the Library of Ruina. Ba-na-na-ba-na-na-bum-bum. Alrighty. So, I did end up finding out what mod was breaking our entire run, and Auntie and Slider was right all along. I probably should have believed it from the get-go, but that's okay. I wanted to try and figure it out myself so that I can be more self-reliant. But, of course, that didn't quite work out, because he was right, and always take a modder's word for what might be breaking mod-wise. So, it was base mod, which is the very first Ruina mod I ever downloaded, and the game seems to be running just fine now. Issue: because we had to get rid of base mod, Sally no longer has Dog's page, because Dog's page no longer exists. I know, very sad, very upsetting. I know a lot of you are unhappy to hear such a thing, that Sally has lost the one and only page. However, I did end up giving her his page. Did a little bit of reworking of the page. Basically, it's all about sort of, how do I explain this? It's all about, this is buffing up all allies and relies on all allies, so I think that's a very, very good mass attack page. We have this page purely with counter die, and I'll get into that in just a moment. We have life and death, which gives us strength for every dead ally next scene. The weight of death, which gains +2 power for every dead ally. We have more counter die, just some really good light and draw, and then, you guessed it, more counter die. So this page's whole goal is basically, while everyone else is alive, we're going to have quite a bit of strength to us. However, when everybody inevitably dies, we are going to have a lot of counter die, we're going to have a lot of extra strength, and we should be able to finish off any fights that are still going. And then battle symbol wise, it's pretty much the same as it usually is. We had to give Sally a little bit of extra health, so we did have to sacrifice a bit of damage. But the reason we give her the extra health is because every time Sally dies, her max health is reduced by 35. So we wanted to be sure that we got one extra revive, even though we're going to revive with like negative health, like maybe 2 or 3 health. It is still an extra revive, and with all the counter dice and the strength, and hopefully by that point we're at the 11th scene, it should be enough to potentially close out a fight. That was my pupper, never mind that. And then of course we are using Due's page, which gives us defensive dice gain up to +2 power depending on emotion, and up to +2 offensive power based on emotion. And then we also have Lowell's A Fighter That Never Retreats, which is going to give us 1 strength and endurance every time our emotion goes up. So I'm kind of thinking that that should be a relatively good deck. I guess we'll see. It is very reliant on counter dice because, well, if you're the last person left, there's going to be a lot of things that you can counter. So hopefully it works out for us, but I guess we'll see. And then Ingvar finally has the page that he's wanted for a very long time, but that Kilana had for a long time as well. So, Ingvar finally has Eugen's page, and it's a little bit of a weird one, but hear me out. I tried to think it out. We have Book of Light, which will restore quite a bit of light to us. Clone, because we're rolling the dice. BN, because it has pure defensive dice and draws 2 pages. Field Mod, because it lowers the cost of all pages in our hand by 1. Opening Ceremony, because it draws a page, restores a light, and reduces the cost of all pages by 1 for the next 2 seen, and it is a single use, so once we use it, it will be said and done, plus it's all defensive. And then, of course, Boundary of Death. If the natural roll is max, or is 4 or higher, add 45 power. So, obviously, this is a very roll the dice kind of deck. But, because it is going to be so reliant on getting started, what we have is we're going to attempt and play survival. So, from Speed Dice 2 and Deflect Assault, we get, I'm sorry, I said that totally wrong. Basically, we're going to be restoring a lot of light, so hopefully we just never run out, and because of Deflect Assault, we're going to respond to a one-sided attack with a block die, which rolls 2 to 6, and we are going to potentially be buffing it up with Is Fascinating, 2% chance, Zwei Honorary Crewmate, which is another 2% chance, Straining Strings because of Not Aeon, which is a 5% to boost defensive dice by +1, and then we're also going to have a 4% to buff it by +2 while at or below 25%. So, in my mind, I'm kind of thinking all of that extra defensive dice power should make it to where we're able to set up, and it shouldn't go too bad. We also have Trey's page, which is going to give us an additional +2 depending on our emotion. And then we're using Health Hauler, Twin Hauler, and Keeping in Stride, which should help us recover a lot of our health. I was debating using Overclock, and maybe we should, but I think the health is going to be a little bit too important. Now, something we can do, and I probably should, I have on the She Association member, although we should probably put on the 2% for +1 Pierce. The reason I was thinking for the blunt is because we have, well, more blunt than anything else, so to speak. Because we're going to have field mods, which is obviously blunt, Book of Light, which is going to be our main way of restoring light, and that's basically it. But the Pierce would technically help with Boundary of Death, but yeah, I don't know. I guess we'll see. So that's pretty much all I did, and I also went ahead and gave Kowina's page, because at the moment we don't actually have, we don't have enough R-Corp stuff to actually finish off the floor, because if you remember, Mao is using Rudolph's Survivor, and so normally we would be using Survivor on, or we'd be using Rudolph on Ivanko, but instead we're using Kowina, which is going to give us a really early ego page. So at the very least it does that, plus it is still a very, very good page. It's just the case that we're locked at emotion level 3, so I don't think we can access our 5th level of ego stuff. However, we are using the very, very strong combo of Nemo's page combined with Raven implants, and we're using Polyphemus's page because it is just going to be buffing up everything that we do. Now, there is one additional downside. It shouldn't be too much of a problem, but it can be a problem. Because we got rid of base mod, I no longer have access to the mod that was giving us 99 of all pages, just to help with farming. So doing mods might become a little bit awkward in the future, but maybe we could just, like, toggle it on and force a victory. I don't know, but we'll see. Basically, it's a problem for the future. It shouldn't be too big of a deal right now. So we'll certainly see how we can do. But I think we're going to take out the floor of General Works. We're going to be using sort of new and improved decks because they were a little bit reworked. Roland and Angelica, the mod that sort of combined them and they work together, is no longer working. So now we're just using the Angelica General Reception page we got a little bit ago. and just regular Roland. So this should be fine. If anything, this floor is a little bit more balanced, so we'll certainly see. Okay, so let's see what's on the agenda. If I could click on her. There we go. Bazia. Fervor. Remain vigilant in peace. Whenever the emotion level rises, recover 25% of stagger resistance unless the character is staggered. When HP falls to 1, gain 50 burn at the start of next scene and recover all stagger resistance at the end of the scene. HP does not fall below 1 until the end of the next scene. When using a combat page with one non-counter die, the die gains +2 power and gains an additional combo point, emotion point. And then this one, recover 15% emotion. I see, so these are normal. Why can I not remember? Okay, you know what I mean. They're normal pages from this association. I don't know what I want to call it. Louis, but that's not right at all. For Zwei, no, Zwei is the blue one. Frank, why is it? Oh, it totally left my mind. You know what I mean? The one Xiao is from. Okay, from memory, we can't actually do damage to Xiao. So, we're going to have to go for the babies. And after we go for the babies, we can go for... The child who has already been summoned cannot be summoned again. Okay, and let's see. Upon death, remove all status ailments applied to Xiao and fully recover HP, immune to damage from ranged attack, mass attack, and status ailments. And then... if Sintamani dies, his character becomes permanently staggered. Gain the passive a bit. Okay, so our goal is to kill Sintamani. But that's not exactly the easiest thing in the world to do. Give protection equal to 10 minus the number of allies killed. Okay, so we have to go for Sintamani last. Okay. That makes sense. It makes enough sense to me. Okay, let's see what we can do with our newfound power. Ulterior logic! Okay, wow, I actually managed to win that one? That's crappy. Considering that was an ego page, that is really just bad. Also, we won that by 1 easy. Okay, Shyness does end up working out for us. Very cool. Rush down. We do dodge 1. We take damage from the other one. We don't win that clash? That looked like a victory to me, but I guess not. Okay, here it comes. The first of many singularities. Reduce the cost of all pages and allies' deck by 1 this scene. All lights gain light construct. That's a really good one. All allies gain an additional speed and reroll all speed die. I'm gonna go for Energizing Shower. I think that's just gonna be the best one for us. Okay. Oh, Mass Attack? Pulau. Mass Individual. On hit, inflict 1 disarm, 1 feeble, and disarm. Ooh. Well, Energizing Shower. Let the light consume you. Alright, big turn. Here we go. The drums. Okay. Ouch. Okay, we're fine. Everybody is looking okay. That's quite a bit of damage on Vera, but we should be okay. Snake Slit. Overthrow. Yeah, we're high rolling. Destroy the dice. Okay, we do get a stagger. That is 1 child down. Couple of resources for us. Apply some bleeds, although it's not going to do us a whole lot. I'm going to go for Scars on Angela because she's effectively, well, no, not effectively, she is our healer. So I'd rather her not die if we can help it. Obviously, we're way too early to go for Furioso. Whoa, Stagger Fragile. Take 2 additional stagger damage from attacks at scene. That's a new one. Yeah, that's very new. Let's destroy that die, and then we can just go for... Yeah, let's draw. Wings assemblage should be very, very good, and then we could also go for a Gale Kick. What's he doing here? We can try and win with a display of affection, and then we can also go for lean, bloody wings, and that should be a relatively good roll. He's going here, so I think we can win that relatively easily. Reduce his power by 2, and then we can just go for an old boys. My dog is being very, very noisy today. Hi, noisy. He just can't get comfortable. He's got an itch. But anyway. And then what we're going to do, we're going to go for Bada Boom and Veiling After Images. And that should take out the second child. Wings Assemblage! Very good. We're going to take a little bit of damage. There's not a whole lot we can do about that, but we can try and prevent as much damage as we can. We're going to go for big hits. Reduce the power. Excellent. Display of Affection does end up working out in our favor. Hopefully we can get that stagger. We do. We also apply a little bit of a bleed. Ouch! Okay, we take additional stagger that turn, so that, unfortunately, is going to work against us. Gale Kick almost takes it out, but we do end up getting it one way or another. You know what? Urging on Sally, because that might be... Okay, I thought it broke it. But it still might be like one more revive. We'll see. But it also seems like it might not work. Actually, we rolled Wings Assemblage again, so may as well, right? Okay, big turn. Here we go. Assemble! And then we're also going to restore a lot of health. Her head is going to disappear for some reason, but that's fine. Counter die do not work out for us. That is to be expected. Okay, that's a death. So I think 2 of the children are dead. We do end up getting a tiny bit of damage on Xiao, although it doesn't mean a whole heck of a lot, because she is just going to restore it. We get a stagger. That's going to be very, very nice. 56 burn. Okay, 1 child down. Another one's... And another one has been summoned. Okay, Sally's not able to do anything this turn because she hasn't gotten, like, any life back. But, hopefully, here we go. Okay. By the way, he went out now, so you're not going to hear his, collar anymore. That's fine. We do not manage to get an attack on Sintamani. I went for him, but forgot that he can redirect a couple of attacks, so that is a little bit unfortunate. We do end up clashing, but then we're taking a lot of damage. We're able to reduce his power by 2, although we do have 2 feeble on us. We go for another little bit of a heal, and then we're going to go for a Bam Bam. Excellent. Counter dice does not work in our favor. That's fine. Okay. Durandal is going to give us a little bit of extra strength. We go for the dodge. It does not land. We managed to get a little bit of a hit, and 2 of the children are about to go down. Let's see. Inflict bind, inflict extra stagger, inflict nail. Deal bonus damage. You know what? Why not? Let's inflict some nails with our Angela. And then let's go for Wrist Cutter. Oh boy. Alright, we got a mass attack going on. Firestorm Arrows. Mass individual. Okay, that's not too terribly bad to counter, though. Okay, big turn. Here we go. Okay, we don't end up blocking the first one on 3 people. We're almost staggered. Okay, nobody got staggered, although we might get staggered during the regular attacks. Overthrow does end up working out for us. We win the clash. Lean, bloody wings. Okay, one child is guaranteed down. Ah, counter die doesn't win, and we get staggered. Ugh. Counter? Oh, the double counter does end up winning, and because we did damage, we're going to restore a little bit of light. That is going to be the second stagger this turn. Very unfortunate. Might even be a death. Nope, not quite. Not quite dead, although we are looking pretty bad. Counter dice doesn't work. Neither counter dice works. Ouch. Okay, here comes our second one. Stagnate time. Dice on targeted page are unaffected by power gain or loss. Mass individual inflict 2 binds to all enemies next scene. Target cannot draw pages and restore light to scene. They're all shimmering, so I don't think that one matters. Randomly inflict 2 feeble and disarm. Increase the cost of all pages in deck. Yeah, you know what? Why not? This one might work out for us. Ooh, okay, Roland might be dead. They have not too much strength, actually. What if we were to just go with Furioso? That might work out for us. Kind of want to go for the dimensional move. Yeah, mass summonation. Let's do that. And then I am just going to restore a bit of light. And that's all we can do this turn. We don't have any counter dice, so we're going to have to think carefully on what we do with Roland, otherwise he is absolutely going to die. Okay, we're going to lose a couple people here. There's not a whole lot we can do about that. We do actually manage to hit absolutely everyone except for Cinnamani. Very good. Almost some staggers. Dodge, 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 dodge. Nice. Get a bit of damage on Xiao, although, once again, doesn't matter because of the whole Cinnamani thing. We do lose Angela. Oh, and we lose Roland, because he's no longer able to counter all those attacks. Jeez, we also lose Angelica. Oh, man. Not great. Okay, we didn't lose Roland yet, but he's practically dead. Okay, nobody's doing anything this turn, so... Okay, let's go for a wrist cutter then. I don't know why they're not going for an attack, but I guess that works for me. Which one has the most health? Make sure this one dies. And that's our turn. Wrist cutter. Purge there! Strength. Okay, one of the children is dead. Okay, the bottom one is dead. You know what? It's time to go for the ultimate counter. And then I also want to go... Oh, Life is Death isn't going to do anything for us this turn. You know what? Let's just go for an additional roll. Yeah. And then as for what we do here, we could go for Remorse. Ah, that doesn't hit everybody, though. You know what? Go for Furioso here. Because that might go for a kill. Let's go for Durandal. Let's go for a Wheels. Wheels right here. And then we will just go for one final attack. And let's just see what happens. The AoE is going to do quite a bit of damage to us. More specifically, Sally. Okay. Counter dice is working. Oh, Roland goes down before he could do damage. Counter dice working in our favor. Ah! Okay, that's fine. Well, mostly fine. They all become staggered. After winning 2 or more clashes with a single combat page, inflict Ice Splinter, they become immobilized. You know what? Let's deal double damage. And here's the final one. Rewind. HP, stagger resist, and light amount resets to the values of the previous scene. Does that mean we could technically revive someone? I don't actually know how that works. Skip this scene. After combat start, all other allies draw 2 pages. No one's alive. Time Vortex. Damage and stagger damage dealt by this page is unaffected by damage resistances, and damage increases or decrease effects. Unused become immobilized. Next scene. Let's do Rewind, because it might help us. But for the moment, let's just gain a lot of counter die, huh? Just a lot of counter dice. And let's see what happens. Karmic Flare. The weight of death! Ow. Ow! 103 stagger damage! Ugh. Well, there's one revive. Hey, how about... It's rewind time! Alright. Does that not work how I think it does? It's rewind time? Ah, it doesn't work how I thought it did! Oh, it didn't even do anything this turn! Oh! We have 2 health. Okay, ooh, that was bad. That did not work how I thought it did. Well, you know what? Hang on. We might still win this. Here we go. Oh! Oh, boy. Okay, I think we had that, but I didn't Okay, me saying we had that is loose. Let's try that again. And this time we know what we're doing, and we won't double dip on so much damage, huh? Okay, I've caught up a little bit, and we're not looking good on health and whatnot, but hopefully this turn will change it around. The wings! Okay, good initial hit. Good amount of regen, 15 to everybody. Block once on everyone, except Sally. And we don't take damage on the second one. Ouch. Shatter the precipice. Sally is 1 damage away from having her second and final, I believe, revive. Oh, almost really good counters. And there goes her next revive. Dang it. So close. Okay, we have all 3 bebes down. Oh, Fervent Emotions is doing a ton of damage. That's okay. Ah. I think we still get the regen regardless. Okay, rush down, doing a tiny bit of damage to us. We get a double block, and then the third attack doesn't do too much. Ouch! Oh, we got staggered. Yeah, I wanted to make sure he was dead, but as it turns out, it didn't quite work out for us. Reduce stagger damage. Who do we want that on? I think Sally's about to be just dead. But you know what? We'll give it to her. You never know. Just in case she has 1 more revive left. Okay, she does have exactly 1 more revive, and then she's got, well, you know, no health, but that's okay. So let's see what we can do this time. I'm just going to go straight for the void, and hopefully we can win with some counters. Could go for Stilted Realm. I don't want to use that just yet, though. Okay, hopefully this is a good turn, but we're certainly going to see. Try and take out the only really remaining bebe. Oh, you love to see that. Oh, did not win. We're going to take an Emotional Turbulence to the face. 6-9. You love to see it. Okay, we double block. Double dodge. Violent Blade. Lean bloody wings. If we can get a stagger, that's basically going to be game, set, match. But the issue being we actually have to land it. 2 of them are about to die and revive. We do actually get the stagger. Potentially the third one is dead. Yep, he's down too. Okay, so we just got a triple kill. 2 of them are going to die. 1 is dead next turn. So we do still have a little bit to go, but we're just about at the finish line. Okay, we take a tiny bit of damage, recover a little bit of our resources. Okay. I think Sally actually got through this entire turn without taking any damage. Interdimensional jump. Skip the scene after combat start. All other allies draw 2 pages. You know what? We're just going to do that. Okay. So presumably... Okay, there's a couple fervent emotions in there. You know what? We're just going to skip this scene. Oh, and this is a mass attack. Karmic Flare. Yep. Yep. Let's go ahead and just skip. Okay. This should skip. We lost one of our people. Very cool. Let's go with the clash on... You know what? On Sally, because I feel like she's about to be the last one remaining. Okay. So... let's see what we can do. They're all pretty buffed. So it's really going to come down to the counter die this turn, I think. You know what? Let's gain some strength. Yeah. Let's gain some more strength. And then let's also go for Agonizing Wail, because that is going to give us some much-needed counter die. We are going to die on Angelica no matter what we do. That being said, we should probably just go for Aspiration. Yeah, Aspiration here, because that might be the little edge we needed, since she is absolutely dead, dead, dead. Okay, and then we will just go for Old Boys, and we'll just see what happens. Now, as for Vera... I think Vera should honestly start trying to beat on, that. Yeah, you know what? Let's go boom. Boom. Overthrow. And then finish off with Availing After Images. And that should be a pretty good turn for damage. So, everybody gets a little bit of strength. We do quite a bit of damage to everyone. Win some of the clashes. Counter dice is going well. More counter dice value. Okay. Oh! Didn't end up winning that one. It's okay. Gain up quite a bit of strength. Okay. Don't get staggered. So we didn't actually manage to get any damage onto Cinnamani. Oh, Vera staggered. Yikes. Okay. I think that might be that. Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot we can do against this. Oof. Yeah, I think that's that. Even though we do have another revive, I don't think that's really going to matter, but we definitely got a lot closer. If it wasn't for that additional burn, I think we actually would have gotten through this. Okay, we're on our final revive. We have a whopping, get this, 2 health. Well, let's just go for Void. Let's go for Agonizing Wail. And then let's just see if maybe we can win. Almost there. We're like on the doorstep of greatness. Okay. I will take a clash. Oh! Wait, no, we're not. Yeah, no, we're dead. Oh, that was such a good turn for the counter dice, though. That was the build coming in right there. Unfortunately, it wasn't enough. So what does this floor need? Sustain. This floor needs more sustain. So I think I know what I'm going to do. Yeah, I'm going to change up builds just a little bit. Sustain is what we need. If we had sustain, we could have fought through the burn. Unfortunately, Didn't have any, therefore caused a little bit of a problem. This whole time, I did not know she was immune, or she was not immune to immobilization. We could have actually won this fight by picking Snow Queen's abnormality page this whole time, and I had no idea. I mean, I'm glad I actually tried to do the fight, but apparently we could have just trivialized it the entire time. Which, don't get me wrong, very fun to do. But also, we deserved this victory. We played. So now there is nothing for poor old Xiao to do, other than to sit there and allow us to destroy her legacy. Now we just have to get through her immense health pool. But luckily, the flames have subsided, and all that's left now is sorrow and ash. It's over. More sustain was absolutely the way to go there. The extra healing just to offset the amount of burn damage that we're constantly taking. Oh, amazing. Simply amazing. Now, immobilization did play a big part in that. However, using Fervent Beats on Angelica and just having her go ham, beating through all of the redirections that Xiao had into Vera, doing super huge damage to the white orb boy. That was a ton of damage. Obviously, Wrist Cutter would not have helped us at all. It would have helped us against the other four, but not against Orb Boy, because that, unfortunately, is immune to all mass attacks, but, you know, it still works relatively well for me. So yeah, basically, we actually picked the correct floor to counter Xiao, just with regular ego pages. Like, we could have countered it with Sword of Frost, or taking Snowstorm. Basically, both pages that could immobilize are on this floor, which makes the fight significantly easier, because then she also does not block. So, it works for me. Well, now she's turned into a book.
Even the strongest of people will crumble if they lose sight of the path. What's the matter? You're looking awfully lost in thought.
I looked at Phillips. That name plagues me. Why would I even dare say it? And Xiao and thought about it. The relationship between ego and distortion. The two had something in common. It was quite similar.
Really? When did the sides look similar?
Their emotions were so unstable that they developed ego or a distortion. Above all, they had the despair for it. And the selfishness.
Feelings only for themselves?
Yes, ultimately, selfishness, perception, foundation of mind, acceptance of something similar is considered to be the criteria for distinguishing between distortion and ego. In other words, first of all, in response to their burning emotions, the light in them formed the ego, albeit incompletely. However, in the end, the two were not completed. Philip was still distrustful in the corner of his heart. Xiao immediately thought her selfish heart was evil.
Xiao looked unstable from the beginning. Even though she was just retreating, she seemed to be guilty of the fact.
That's what they have in common. I guess the reason is the voice that only they heard.
The voice.
Yes, they seem to have lost their spirits due to someone's voice. I'm not sure what the voice was saying, and if it really broke them.
Had they collapsed, the words the voice said would have been very terrible.
That's right. The reason why I couldn't counter that voice. What is the reason?
Both have lost their loved ones. To be precise, the core or root of the person. What is important to the person, the source of action, it was after it was gone. What is important to them is, because the things that each individual cherishes are different.
Do you say that as if there was something important? Do you say that as if there wasn't something important? Yeah, there wasn't something important. They wouldn't collapse.
Imagine walking a tightrope. It's just one step off. The balance is lost and the rope is cut. What happens then?
They will fall.
However, I think they knew that the current situation wouldn't change just by their hearts.
If everyone changes, the city will change too. That's a good way of looking at it. Also, not sure why the music wasn't playing there. It was for you guys, because I added it. But it wasn't playing for me, and I'm not sure why. Whew. Man, freaking Distorted Xiao is hard. Not the hardest thing in the world. We were able to get through it. And, okay, we would have beaten it legit as well. But apparently immobilization is very, very strong in that fight. So, I guess if you're really struggling, which I was, that was easily like my 5th or 6th attempt. We were on the road to beat it, but regardless, immobilization still won it for us. But we would have beaten it. The fervent beats actually let us get quite a bit of damage on Sidamani, and then we were able to just finish him off completely due to Xiao being immobilized. But regardless, immobilization did technically win the fight for us, so, you know, there is that. But now, it's time for Distorted Emma. And I think we're going to bring out Malkuth. I'm not so sure that we've actually had a victory since changing Malkuth's floor to be a very bind/burn floor. But I also went ahead and changed 2 people. So, instead of Evo Knight, Kyle now resides in Malkuth's floor. Reason being, he is very, very good at burn. He always has been. So, I mean, it's just a perfect fit for him to be. Likewise, Evo Knight is now sitting pretty in Gebura's floor because they needed a tank, and he, I don't know if you've noticed, he's pretty gosh darn tanky. So, let's go ahead and finally get a dub for Malchus floor, because they've kind of been struggling here for a little bit, but after the recent floor rework, I think it's time we win. Also, we are not allowed to use the music on this fight, so unfortunately, YouTube no like that music. Okay, let's see what we're up against. Blackout, street performing. Okay, I think we've got this. We've got this relatively nicely. Let's see, if the target has bind, draw 1 page on hit. Easier said than done. Now, I do need to, in the runaway state. Okay, so I think we should take out the buddies first. I think that's what we should be doing. Okay, here we go. Big turn. The burn. Okay, here we go. We're gonna spread the burn all around. Let it be known that they will burn away to ash. Fiery Waltz. Let's spread about the burn. Flash Freezing Cut, which is going to be very effective since they all have a bit of burn. Spread the burn around. Flash Freezing. Dodge, dodge, dodge. Sweet. We did end up getting a triple dodge. Very, very nice. Now we're going to start taking a little bit of damage because of Distorted Emma, who is now going to go for some pretty big attacks. Street Performing is going to nearly stagger us. Luckily, it doesn't quite work out that way for Emma. Now we're going to put Ashes on Kelana, which is going to give her a little bit of burn synergy, which we are a tiny bit lacking on her. Not a whole heck of a lot, but, you know. Okay, big fire turn. Okay, unless we end up missing. A little bit unfortunate. There we go. We missed both dodges. Heated weapon, we do still get a little bit of burn through. We're just trying to stack up as much burn as we possibly can for the moment. Okay. Fiery Waltz is going to spread around the burn very, very nicely. There we go. So we can't kill them. It's fine. Tear up. That is going to spread some burn to him. Okay. So, Trapeze. At the end of the round, the user dies. Disarm 1 and bleed 3 in the next scene. Okay. Easy enough to counter. Okay, spread the burn. Love. Everybody is relatively burned. He is going for the AoE. And we dodge it on a whopping 2 of our people. Okay. Fiery Waltz is going to be a very nice spread. Inflict some more blind. Inflict a tiny... Bind, inflict a tiny bit of burn. Everything is going relatively well. Blade unlocked. Okay, and I think we also killed them in a way to where they're not all going to explode at once. We do miss all of our blocks, which it's a little bit unfortunate. Okay, 1 down, 2 left. Matchlight, gain an Ember. They become stronger based on Ember. They have a chance to damage themselves. You know what? Matchlight on Kyle. Why not? Spread the burn. Okay, so we did actually do it correctly. So, smash up. At the end of the round, the user dies. The die is reused 3 times. Ooh. Well... how are we going to counter that? We're not, basically. Yeah, we're simply just not going to. Yeah, we just kind of have to tank the damage. However, I do want to apply as much burn to Emma as we possibly can. Because the more burn, the more damage we get as soon as she ticks over when they're all dead. Plus, we're doing a tiny bit of stagger with some of our characters, so, you know, it helps out. Slowly but surely, we're stacking up that stagger and burn. Okay, that kind of sucks. Fiery Bolt is going to spread it one way or another, even if we have to do it in a roundabout way. We're spreading that burn. Okay. Taking a lot of damage. Lose match. NMO is given a... Oh, if it loses, that's interesting. Well... Mass Summonation? No, I don't think that'll work. How about... I mean, we're in Vengeance range, aren't we? Gain +2 power. +2 power. So that'll be +4 at most. So let's say it's 12. Nope. Basically no chance of winning. Okay, well. Mate, that's all you had to say. Okay. We just have to take a lot of damage this turn. Now, let's go ahead and spread our stuff as much as we possibly can. Mainly in the same very roundabout way, but you know what? If it works, it works. You are alone. When hit, inflict burn. Let's give that to Kelana. Inflict 5 fragile. Yeah, that seems pretty useful right about now. So, blackout. Encore. If target is defeated or staggered, use this again on a random enemy. Ooh, that's a scary person to use that on. Can we redirect that with anybody? How about devastate? Yeah, let's go for a little bit of devastation. Oof. Immediately got staggered trying to attack. That is, not so good. Ah. Actually, are we all staggered right now? No, some of us aren't. But it's still not exactly great. Almost have him staggered. Okay, next turn. Next turn we'll jump off. Yeah. Oh! Okay. Where are you, Noah? I have to protect you from them. Twisted Circus Blades, Mass Summonation, on hit, 2 Bro, that's a lot of damage. Crumbling Stage. That is so much damage. Gain 1 protection next scene. Interesting. So also doing damage to Noah. Also, Noah has exactly no passives. So, converts all damage. Noah's all... becomes a runaway. The damage is no longer converted. At the start of the curtain, the user gains 3 power. Okay. So, there's not a whole lot we can do right now. It is going to be a summonation. So... let's try to Memories of the Past just to win the mass summonation, and then I think we just go completely ham with everything we have. I am also going to go for Hornet. 5 or more. Okay, it doesn't have any burn anymore, so that's not going to be quite so useful. Let's go for Clench Heart, because that should give us the most power. Let's go for Shockwave. And then let's also go for Inflict Bind. Okay, a little bit of a crappy turn, but let's see what we can do. Wow, we blocked it on basically nobody. There's Hornet. For some reason, we stayed as B Angela, but that is perfectly fine. Ouch. Okay, the burn is being applied. Getting more and more burn. Ton of damage from Clenching Heart. Let's see. Could technically just Baneling. However, I'm gonna go with Vines. Yeah, go with Vines. And then we'll also go with Forgotten. Okay. So, we should be able to basically finish out the fight from here on out. Yeah. I think we got it at this point. Okay, big damage. We have a lot of bind. Oh, actually won the clash because of the extra endurance. Oof. Actually, the extra endurance and strength, unfortunately. Absolute zero. Good amount of damage, but I don't think it's going to be enough to win the fight. Ouch. Yeah, Dave has a lot of regen, but I don't think he's going to be able to do it. Win, hit, inflict damage, and bind at the start of the scene. You know what? Let's do Malice and just see what happens. And then we'll also go for Wing Beat. Yeah! Okay, let's give it all we got. Wing Beat. Ah, Shockwave unfortunately does not land. Forgotten is going to do a lot of damage. Actually, dead to burn if we can survive. Not dead to burn. I don't think the game knew what to do because we won with burn. That seemed very odd. Wow. So, apparently Malchus Floor is much stronger now that it is a bind and burn focused floor. Which I'm happy about, considering it's been struggling for a little bit. But it seems like this is probably the turn it needed. Obviously, it is very reliant on both burn and bind. Luckily, the ego pages do help out with that. And yeah, overall, I'm pretty happy with how Malchus Floor has done. And we also first tried an Amoa. That was fun. I think we basically played that as perfectly as we could. Obviously, would have been nicer if some more people survived, but I think we actually played it really well. I can't end the fight. The fight can't be ended. Okay, well. Okay. That doesn't seem right. So, oh, we don't even get the pages now. Okay, so we have to beat it again. Yeah, that doesn't seem right. Possibly a bug? Or maybe it's because we won with burn? Not 100% sure, but I guess that works for me? Question mark? Alright, let's return to title. Even though we should have won, I guess not. The game has noticed data for key pages, combat pages, or books whose information cannot be found. Will you delete the... Bro, what? Yeah, I guess. What the heck broke? Okay, so it didn't count as a victory. I saw that one coming, but... Okay. And it didn't seem to get rid of our stuff. Let me just double check, but... No, we seem good. Okay, I'm not sure what the heck happened then. That was just a whole lot of bugs all at once, I guess. So let's beat him again. I'm sorry? Okay, I guess we win. Wait, what? What? I guess we don't win. Let's try that again. Aha! What in the world? Oh, okay, yeah. Alright. Okay. Well, uh, let's proceed as we were going to? I guess? Oh man, this is weird. Alright, it's time. Well, first, alright, we're gonna go through all this and then you'll see what it's time for. Blocked! Alright, it's time! Dang it! It didn't work. Hang on, but it will. It's time! Yes! The boundary of death. But wait, it's time! Dang it! So we used it 3 times, and it lost 2 of them. But you know what? It's probability, honestly. Like, it's not that bad. Could have been worse. Okay. He's dead, so... Oh, you know what it's time for? Do you know what it's time for? Oh, buddy. Oh, this is such a dumb idea. This deck. Okay, Ingvar's deck has gone from like, oh yeah, that's pretty reliable, to it's time to high roll. It's either high roll or the highway. There's no in between. I mean, that's fine. You know, it's a perfectly solid thing that we can do. Yeah, it should be fine. Yeah. All right. Who needs our handiwork? You do, and you do. Excellent. I do so love spreading my handiwork. Ooh, magnum opus. All right. Magnum opus on Icebox. You'll love to see it. And then let's do enhancing, or wait. +2 max value. The natural roll is max. Wait. Natural rolls, okay, so adding +2 is actually bad on that. Okay. So we'll buff you, we'll give some light here. And then we'll try and stack up some free stuff. Alright, should be a pretty good turn, honestly. Alright, here we go. Form as a current. Ah, the stagger damage. It stacks even for you. Ow. Ah. High kick. Oh yeah, we stacking. We're stacking up real well. Dang it. Dang it. Could this guy just explode already so that we can move on to the second phase? I'm ready for it. I'm ready to destroy NMO. Okay, there it is. Yeah. Okay, so you're going to die, therefore I think we need to counter you as much as we can. Yes, let us go for ataxia. The time has come. Your end draws near. And we have enough charged where Icebox is now taking 30% reduced damage and stagger damage. You'll love to see it. We are properly stacked. We're recovering light. We're somewhat winning clashes. And now... do we go for the Chained Wrath? Hang on. I think we're good to go for the Chained Wrath. and regret. Oh. Okay. Where are you, Noah? Okay. We got this. We got this. Mass summonation. Let's see. 4 to 10, 4 to 9. Yeah, you know what? We win that 200 million% of the time. Alright, here we go. Yeah, we're gonna take a lot of damage. There's mod needed obtained. Huh? Okay, big damage.
Pitch black pulverizer.
66 and 48. You'll love to see it. Assuaging pulls. We do not manage to land it. That's fine. Okay. We do get a tiny bit of damage. He is going to go for a ton of damage on us. Luckily, it's not going to mean a thing. Because when I'm done with you, you're going to be debuffed into oblivion. You will never see the light of day again. That being said, oh my goodness. Oh my god. You'll love to see it. Deal bonus stagger damage. Yeah. And then we'll go for those. And then we'll go for one of these. Alright, here we go. So it's not converted into physical damage how I thought it was going to be with Mal. Well, I mean, we're still doing stagger damage though. And with 14 additional fragile, it's pretty much a victory. Even Ayan is doing like 48 damage. Like, he really is just a support on this floor. Okay, so it did bug out because we... Yeah. Okay, so it bugged out because we won with fire. Okay. That makes sense. Well, we got 4 mod needed. And then 1 Enemoa book. Not sure why that's happening. Wait a minute, didn't I read this one? One who can't stand without support, and one who can't stand without support.
Yes, one cannot live alone. If you want to dream or grow taller, you'll need the support of more than just people. You need...
Yeah, I think we've already read that. Have we? I can't tell. I feel like we already read that, but maybe we didn't. I honestly, I couldn't tell you. Nice. Enemoa's book. We also went ahead and opened Xiao's book, although it doesn't look like we actually got her page. We also got 2 encores. So we didn't even get Xiao... we didn't even get her page. Oof. Normally that's not a problem, because when we had base mod, we just got everything. Well, we got 99 of each book we got, but now that we don't, that's a problem. That's a little bit of a problem. And I mean, is it a problem? Not really, but it does just mean I have to fight a mod like 16 times to actually get the thing I wanted, which is something I dislike doing in the base game, but nah, it's fine. We'll just figure it out and beat her again off screen, and then we'll give it to ourselves. Enemoa's book. Let's see. If the original page cost... Oh boy. So if you use a page whose original cost is 6 or more, you gain 2 light at the end of the scene. When using a page with an original cost of 3 or more, the power of all dice on that page gain +1, plus an additional +1 if it's 4 or more. So if you use a page that costs 4, you gain +2 power on all the dice on it. Circus Blades. Add a special page to hand with the variable cost depending on the page used at the start of the battle. That's a strange one. So I'm not sure who we're going to give that to, but we will figure it out. Oh boy. And I did promise to beat Censored as well. Ooh, kind of shying out of that now, but I guess I did promise it, huh? So we kind of have to do that. But we'll see. I'll give it a fair few attempts, so we'll see how it goes. If I can't do it, then whatever. We'll do it later. But if I can... Okay, basically, if I can't beat him, we'll do another mod instead. If I can beat him, that'll be the end of the episode. I did it! I did it! Freaking Censored is dead! Dude, I was ready to do like this huge montage about me trying for hours on end, and then I was gonna be like, well, sorry guys, I guess I couldn't beat him. But I freaking beat Censored finally! Fire was the way to go. Fire was the way to go. Oh my god! Dude, in both Ruina and Lobotomy Corp, Censored was such a huge roadblock for me, but we did it, and it didn't even take as long as some of the other modded fights have. It still took a little while, but finally. Perseverance. Feels great. Finally.
Realization level up.
You now have access to new abnormality pages. The emotion level threshold has increased to level 2. Alright, let's see what we got. Wriggling. Single ally. Increases max stagger resist by 12%. Gain a counter die. Block 5 to 9 on combat start. Trauma. Single ally. All other characters' max stagger resist is reduced by 50%. This effect is applied to all enemies when entering a new act. Characters take 20 damage when they are staggered. If a character recovers from being staggered, they recover 30 HP. And their max stagger resist is reduced by 10% up to 2 more times. So it goes up to 70% reduced. And sacrifice. Single ally. All dice of characters clashing against this librarian are unaffected by power gain or loss. Take 10 to 20% of max HP and stagger resist as damage. Wow, that's an interesting one. Yeah, talk about a sacrifice. We're finally done. Complete a Star of the City or higher rank reception with the Floor of Philosophy. Okay. That's easy enough. Well, happy ending to this episode. I did not think we were going to actually beat Censored, but we pulled it off. It took a little while. I'm so glad to be done with Censored. Freaking Censored has been the bane of my He was my first Aleph ever. I didn't even beat him until my 3rd reset cycle on Lobotomy Corp. That means I played through the game twice and then beat him on the 3rd go around. So it took me a very long time to beat him. And so it's especially special to me beating him here because that was so hard. Well, I should probably show you the decks I used to do that. So, obviously, Angela has not changed very much. You can see all her gifts right here. Now, with Angela, I decided to do something a little bit tricky. I went for Your Shield, Liquefied Flesh, and Fervor. Fervor because our emotion goes up so fast that she's going to have this for a bulk of the fight. And then Defensive Dice Power +2 because you really can't go wrong with the +2 to, like, half your deck. Like, block, block, counter block, 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 counter block, dodge, 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 dodge. Like, you can't really go wrong with defensive dice power in that. Sally was, I attempted to go for a full smoke floor. That just, I don't know what it is. I cannot get smoke to work for the life of me. I have tried and tried again, but for some reason, I just can't get smoke to work. So, I went with a little bit of a hybrid smoke build. Obviously, as you see here, and from the gifts, it's okay. Rule Breaker wasn't the best choice in the world, but I basically did it so that we had a chance to stagger Censored, but that didn't work. As for her passives, we have Unrelenting, because being able to stick in the fight longer is just better. 12 Fixers, because that is going to effectively boost our damage. And Fervor, because our emotions are going up so high that it's just nice. Vera is using the Purple Tears page. Now, you might think Flash of Sunup is a little bit of a weird card, but I beg to differ. Not only do both Slash dice have a chance to be empowered by both Blazing Dawn and Lonesome Outcast, they have +2 from the Purple Tear being in the Slash. We almost always have 2 strength, although sometimes we have 3, sometimes we have 4, it depends how the fight goes. And then we're also boosting it further with both Unity Bolster, Snake Slit, and yeah. So all in all, it actually ends up doing a lot of damage. Plus, it's a really cheap draw 1 page, and it inflicts 1 burn, which while that doesn't sound like a lot, that's enough to get rid of a stack of resilience if it lands on Censored, which that alone is very powerful because every 10 stacks of resilience, Censored gains an additional +1 power. Obviously, you don't want that. And as for what she has Lowell's A Fighter That Never Retreats, which is 1 strength, 1 endurance. Unrelenting because she was basically the honorary fight Censored, at least at first, until everybody got going. Razor Strike is applying a stack of bleed, which is getting rid of an additional stack of resilience if we can land our slash procs. Survivor because we were almost always staggered, and Unstable Charge because you never know when 1 strength will come in handy. Walker was basically the heavy hitter of the burn builds. As you can see, a little bit of Unity synergy, and then a lot of like being low health and burn synergy in his gifts. But as far as what we have for his passives, we have Stigma Workshop, which is applying +1 stack of burn, Guts, which revives him to full health, and Remain Vigilant in Peace, which is going to keep him not staggered for a bit longer, which ended up being very, very good. And Unalesca, who is the second big burn character of the floor, with Xiao's deck. As you can see, we went for a little bit of a weirder one here. We went for, once again, we went for burn synergy, but this time I not only went for burn and Unity synergy, I also went with a little bit of discard synergy. Very, very weird, I know. So we were using just the full page of the Unstable Crying Children and Hanafuda's page, so every time we got value from Burning Slash, we would also draw an additional page and restore an additional light. So Burning Flash technically only cost 1 and would draw 2 pages, which ended up being very, very useful. And then I went for Genie instead of Raging Storm, because applying burn to all enemies was actually better than a single-use mass summonation, because not only are every time we have 4 mana and it's in our hand, we can apply 2 burn to all enemies, which is applied to 3 burn if we have Violent Flame, but it also allows us to counter the little Censoreds, give big Censored 1 strength next scene. So it ended up being very, very good for just trying to keep Censored down while also removing stacks of resilience whenever we could, applying burn, which was basically the carry of this fight. So yeah, overall, extremely. It was close. Let's not kid ourselves. It was close, but we actually managed to beat the fight with a couple people still standing, so I'm willing to say that that was, whew, that's pretty good for a big dum-dum like me. So, what I'm going to do with the Da'at floor is, for every ego we have to fight, of which I believe there's 4 of them, and then the realization hasn't been added yet, but I have an idea for the realization. If you guys have a character that has at least 3 other characters in some form of backstory, even if it's just 2, that's fine. I can always just, like, put Sally with you or something. But if you have any sort of character that you want a big backstory about, maybe you built something in Lobotomy Corp, maybe you built something in Ruina, if you would like them to be the star of the show for one of the ego battles, like, for example, Sally was the quote-quote star of the show for this floor. These 3 characters have to do with her backstory. If you would like to have your own character with that, just let me know, and let me know the characters and what any sort of like that you would like, and I'll be sure and do that. And then, of course, for the realization, I do have a little bit of a plan. I'm not sure if people will see it coming, but we'll see. So, thank you guys so much for watching, and thank you for sharing in my joy for finally defeating Censored. Trust you me, it feels so good to be done with that. Literally nothing can be as bad as Censored at this point. Am I gonna regret saying that later? We'll see. We'll see. But thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you
In the next one.
bye.